Hey, Sean, any ideas on how James Gunn could do Green Arrow right? Any fan casts? Not offhand. I think for a good fan cast, you need to like sit and think about it, like look into it. And fan casts for superheroes get more and more difficult every year because everyone's already a superhero and everybody's already in DC and Marvel. And so you're running out of people to cast. And like doing a fan cast before we even have the pitch, you're like, okay, are we looking for a 25-year-old? Are we looking for a 40-year-old? These are different things, and it's a different group of people to look at. Like if we're looking at 25-year-olds, you're looking for the up-and-comer that doesn't have his big thing yet. And if you're looking for a 40-year-old, you're looking for the established person that isn't currently prominent in a different superhero deal. So there's a lot of things to think about with it and wanting to know what like the angle is. But how could James Gunn do Green Arrow right? Like we don't have a movie Green Arrow. So the advantage there is that it's fair game. Yeah, we had a TV show that ran over the last decade, and he was on Smallville 15 years back, but he's never been in a movie. And even with, Stephen Amell, like that was over 10 years ago that launched. So the advantage there is you don't need a clever spin on Green Arrow. You don't have to find a way to differentiate yourself from the previous version. When you do Superman, well, in the last 20 years, we had Henry Cavill, and we also already had Brendan Routh. And then on television, Tom Welling was very prominent. And then currently we have Tyler Hoechlin, very prominent. So we've had 4 live-action Superman in the last 20 years. What are we going to do fresh and new, different with this one? It's not the same thing with Green Arrow. Of course you have Stephen Amell, but that's just a TV show. And then as a side character on Smallville. But you don't have these iconic cinematic film versions, so you can just do Green Arrow. You can just do a classic version of it. And I think that's a huge advantage. I think the thing that you go for is you try and match the tone of your universe, but think Green Arrow gets to be street level. Yeah, Superman Legacy, we'll spend $200 million on that. Let's do Green Arrow for $75 million. And, James Gunn wouldn't direct it. He wouldn't necessarily write it, but he's over it. So let's get someone that can do a really good street level superhero story. I think that's what you do with it. You go sub $100 million budget and do martial arts, bows and arrows, fighting the mob and things like that. That's what you do. But it doesn't have to be clever. You don't need to turn it on its head. Like back 15 years ago, David Goyer wrote a script for Green Arrow, and they were looking to do a Green Arrow movie from David Goyer, and it was called Supermax, and it was all about Green Arrow being arrested and being put in prison with all these criminals that he had put in prison. That's interesting. And they kind of did that on a season of Arrow, But even that, like, that sounded cool to me, but it was also kind of like, feels like a sequel to a movie that you haven't seen. You can do whatever you want with Green Arrow. It doesn't have to be clever. Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.